please go wild. Welcome, Forbes Riley.
Well, thank you. Oh, that's kind of nice, right? You want that, don't you? You want that kind of an intro. So imagine, little girl in Long Island. Her dad's an inventor and a magician. Her mom is a cook, a stay-at-home mom, 260 pounds, and rather Jewish. The crazy thing is I grew up with a lot of love, and you think that would have been a great upbringing. But somehow I have a terrible self-esteem issue. I'm 8 years old. Here, catch this for me. And somehow I run into a baseball bat. It breaks my nose. I have a weird, awesome, weird, kind of crazy nose. I wear braces on my teeth for 8 years, a full set of railroad tracks. I'm overweight because we lived on fast food. I have frizzy hair. I look like a triangle from the back. And I have no friends. I'm kind of an awkward, lonely little kid. And then it gets worse. My dad is a printer, and he sticks his hand by accident into a printing machine, and it cuts off the whole front of his hand. He'll spend the next 3 years in the hospital. 15 operations. I didn't even know my high school had a football or a baseball team because I never went to it. My mom says at some point, you're very smart, you're an A-plus student, and we have no money to send you to college. I'm so sorry. But there's this pageant. I'm like, Mom. She said, no, don't worry, it's not a beauty pageant. It was a written test, a talent, a personality, and she says, you have those. And so I entered it. It was the Miss Teenage America pageant. It was going to be on NBC with Bob Hope, and one little girl was going to represent New York. I remember walking into that room, and there were 350 girls. And I looked at my dad, who had a big bandage on his hand, and I thought, you know, if I could make life better for him, that would mean everything. And I decided as I stepped into that room that I was going to win. And I did. And I ended up on TV with Bob Hope and getting a scholarship and changing my family's life. How did I do that? Would you like the secret? Yeah. I dreamed. My mom thought I was just sitting watching television all those years. But I was dreaming of being glamorous, of movie stars, of the Oscars, of traveling around the world. I could do that if those people could do that. I didn't know how. If you know me, I don't let you ask or say I don't know how. I don't care if you don't know how. Dream. Believe that you can and take action, because that's how you achieve the most amazing dreams. And then one day I created this. Come on. I'm living the most amazing life, and you know what? I created it. I met a woman in the bathroom right here who talked about self-esteem. I know what it's like to be an outsider and not have any. But I understand what it takes to leap forward into your life. Who would like to know my secret? Great, it's a thing called the Forbes factor. I'm going to do it in January. You want to come? Yeah, I happen to be one of the greatest pitch people in the world. I've sold $2.5 billion with a B, $billion worth of product on television, infomercials, home shopping. And I still don't know how I did it all, but it doesn't matter. I wanted it. And I wanted it probably better or more than most of you. Then I architected a plan. I'm going to give you 3 simple little keys. Would that be okay? Yeah, it is okay, I know. All right, number 1. You ready? Now, if you're in my class, I'd make you write this down, but it's being videotaped. You can purchase that later. No, just kidding. Come on, always be pitching. That's no. Number 1, begin with the end in mind. You know what that means? Okay, to begin with the end in mind means when you walk into a meeting, when you meet somebody, you know what you want your outcome to be. It's not left to chance. So many of us just go through life without a business plan. No business, no successful business does that. So why do we do that in life? Okay, quick story. So my dad's a magician, right? If you have a trick where you cut a girl in half and you don't know how it's going to end, what happens? Yeah, you have to write a really bad note to the girl's mother. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't going to end well. There was a time I was walking through the forest. This was crazy. I was walking through a forest, and there was a bullseye with an arrow. I thought, wow, that's really good, like a marksman. Dead center. Oh, wait, there's another one, a bullseye and an arrow, dead center. Oh, no, bullseye. They were everywhere, a bullseye, dead center. I want to meet this guy. He's really good. And there was a guy standing there with some arrows, and I said, did you do this? And he said, well, yes, I did. I said, could you tell me the secret? He said, it's very simple. You shoot the arrow first, and then you draw the bullseye. Begin with the end in mind. Number 2. The very first time I gave a speech, we've got some amazing speakers here today, some of my students, friends, and fans, and I'm very excited for you to listen to them. Yes? Yeah. You need to be very supportive. First time I gave a speech, I didn't know what a speech was. So I started telling stories. How I've managed to work for Club Med, and I helped create the X Games. I've had national talk shows. I worked on Laugh Factory. I've been in movies and television. The career is mad. At the end of the speech, somebody like Peter Anthony says, "Hey, come here. What were you doing?" I said, "I was giving a speech, and everyone loved it. They're all looking at me." He said, "That wasn't a speech. Speeches have a point." Like, "Oh, okay, I'll work on that. How am I doing?" So the next morning, there's a raffle. There's 150 women who'd watched me that speech. And this one woman is falling in love with this necklace. She's like, "Oh, it looks like my daughter's dress. She's getting married. I want that." I'm like, "Shh, don't want that too bad, because your odds are not with you with 150 people in the room." They start the raffle. Boom, they call her name. She looks at me and says, "Ha, I Forbes'd it." What does it mean to Forbes something? It means to manifest something, especially when nobody believes it's possible. What have you wanted that somebody said, "No, you couldn't do it. You couldn't start that business. You couldn't come to this country. You couldn't be successful. You couldn't lose weight"? They look at you and they say you can't, and some of you believed it. I took the word no and I stood it on its end. I said, "You know what? No means never-ending opportunity." Somebody says no, yes, become a no collector. It's very exciting. People said no to me and I used to run and hide, but no more. Never-ending opportunity. All right, number 3. Number 3, now this is very, very close to my heart. I don't know if you realize this, but right before you come down from heaven, and you don't have to believe me, just listen to the story and say yes, you choose your parents. Some of you didn't choose so well, I know. No, you choose your parents because you guys deserve each other. But right before you leave that little waiting station, there's an angel, the gifting angel. Now each one of you, even you in the back, has a gift. Whether you've discovered it or not, that's your job in this life, to discover your gift and share it with the world. And if you're playing small, stop it. Stop it. It's not what you were designed to do. You never were. There was a 3-year-old, she got the gift of playing the piano. You ever see that 3-year-old who can play Chopin? And an 11-year-old who could sing opera. And then that bitch Beyonce, she took 3 gifts. She could sing, dance, and she's beautiful. By the time I was finished, I was too busy yakking. There was nothing left for me. And the gifting angel said, "Well, wait, I got this." Like, "What's this?" She said, "You'll find out. Remember, it's your job to find out what your gift is." Huh. Who here has played Mother May I? Ever play Mother May I? Ever say, "Mother, may I take 5 giant steps?" And the person in charge said, "Oh no, you can take 3 little baby steps and 1 hopscotch backward step." Listen, girl, I'm taking 5 giant steps whether you like it or not. Because most of you are waiting for what? Permission. Permission from somebody else to live your life to the fullest. And I'm going to tell you, I got the secret right here. And I've got them waiting for you outside. Who would like it? In my world, if you do not step up and lean in, you are not playing the game. Who wants it? Yes! Thank you. That is how you get $2.5 billion. I'd like it. No, you don't play that way. That's playing small. Stop it. Stop accepting mediocrity in your life and thinking you can't, that you're not enough. Your job. But if for some reason you can't do it on your own, guess what? That's my job. Who here would like permission to do something? What would you like permission to do? Permission to do everything. What would you like permission to do? Permission to live life to the fullest. What would you like permission to do? Just speak up. Now is your chance. She's not choosing to speak up. You and I need to meet at my table in the back after this is over. That's what I'm here for. Don't ever do that again. Don't waste an opportunity. Because here's the truth. I have a card that says, and I quote, "I hereby grant you permission. I grant you permission to be successful, to come to this country and be successful without knowing the language, to lose that abusive boyfriend, to lose the weight that you've been holding on to. I'm going to give you that permission. And if I'm not around, you get to look in the mirror and say, I give myself permission." You know, the crazy thing, my dad was in the hospital. He was sick with cancer, and he was suffering. That beautiful man, I hated to see him suffer. And the nurse said to me, she said, "You need to give your dad permission to die." Really? So I thought about it, and I thought, And I stood by his side, and I held his hand, and I said, "You know what? Thank you for teaching me to leap and the net will appear, for teaching me to be bold, for believing that I was beautiful and that I was enough, because he was always there. I give you permission to go be with your dad. And 20 minutes later, he was gone. So maybe we're designed to have permission to ask for permission, but don't do it from somebody else. Find it in yourself, look in the mirror, and grant yourself the permission that you need to be everything and more than you ever dreamed possible. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Forbes Riley.